The warmest of welcomes to Rosario in Argentina for the 2025 TCR South American Championship opener. Round number 1 is starting right here after a very tight qualifying session we had yesterday that had the newcomer, the 21-year-old Thiago Pernilla, as the pole sitter, leaving no other than Nelsinho Piquet in second place, as we have a beautiful morning in Rosario. A fantastic afternoon is coming later, as we are now on 9 a.m. local time. Loads of crowds have gathered here. As we see now the grid set up with 14 cars that are in this very nice venue, completely rebuilt by 2019, that has hosted many rounds of this TCR South American Championship. As we have the 14 entrants on screen, we have Thiago Pernilla on pole position. In fourth place, his father, Leonel Pernilla, and in ninth place, we have Mariano's brother. We have Leonel's brother, Mariano Pernilla, international footballer himself in the past. As here we have the grid already set up with the 14 cars that will take part in this opening event. Ahead of them, the safety car. Quite some wind here in Rosario. As it's now the time to see the best of this as we see the people are waiting for the race. We had a really tight qualification yesterday that had given us a Q1 in which the top 3 were separated by just 0.07 of a second. Pernilla, Piquet Jr. and Cardoso, who are now the top 3 on the grid. And now we'll have the opening race that will kick off this season. 14 cars. We've had 2 Lincoln Co's, 2 Toyotas, 2 Cupras, 5 Hondas and 3 Peugeots completing the 14 entrants. We'll hear from our pit reporter Mariano Colombo.
A la primera fecha de la temporada 2025 del TCR South America Banco BRB. Nos encontramos aquí en el autódromo de la ciudad.
We're walking through the grid with them, through the Juan Manuel Fangio circuit in Rosario.
Segundo, Nelson Piquet Jr., ex Fórmula 1. Y en la tercera ubicación, el último campeón, Pedro Cardoso, a bordo del Peugeot, que va a buscar repetir obviamente el campeonato.
We'll see if we hear a word from Thiago Pernilla.
Thiago, ayer se hizo la tarea, se logró la
Thiago, you did your homework yesterday.
¿Cómo estás? Hola para todos. Así como decir, hicimos un trabajo difícil ayer para quedarnos con la pole.
We did a good job yesterday with pole position.
Más difícil todavía, pero vamos a por nuestro trabajo.
But this is the hardest part.
Lo más alto posible, que igualmente nos van a hacer fuerza desde atrás, los dos que tengo atrás.
We'll try to leave the team as high as possible.
Un gran auto y un gran equipo que me acompaña.
We have a very strong car and a good team backing us.
Como bien dijo, con Nelson Piquet Jr. y con Pedro Cardoso buscando arrebatarle la primera posición.
Now we will go through the grid. We see Maria Nienkotter at the back. She struggled to make a full lap yesterday in Q1 after following some damage on the practice sessions. Here we have Juan Ángel Rosso. Sitting in his car. That was Pedro Cardoso too. And we are counting the last minutes for the race. The defending champion here, Pedro Cardoso, he won the 2024 title in fantastic shape. Waking himself up. Yeah, we need a bell on the cockpits, as it is 9 a.m. We see some guests and Fabian Gianantoni ready to start the race too, having his final drink. Nelson Piquet Jr. also final seconds for the formation lap in Rosario. And in the background here we have Maria Nienkotter, niece of former F3 South America driver Leonardo Nienkotter. We're ready for the formation lap. As we are flying through the starting grid, there is 2022 champion Fabrizio Pezzini. We have 2 of the 4 series champion still racing in this series. We have Fabrizio Pezzini from 2024 and the current title holder Pedro Cardoso from 2024. There's Pezzini on his Cupra, and the formation lap is now starting. We will move on to the first race of the year. Let's have a look at the starting grid with Thiago Pernia in first place, on pole position, the 21-year-old from Argentina, followed by Brazil's Nelson Piquet Jr., former Formula 1 entrant in 2008 and 2009. Title holder Pedro Cardoso starts in third place for PMO Racing in his Peugeot, followed by Leonel Pernia, father of pole sitter Thiago Pernia in a Honda from the new rebranded Honda YPF Racing. Rafael Reyes starts in 5th for W2 Pro GP on his Cupra, ahead of the Lincoln Co. of Fabian Gianantuoni for Paladini Racing. Behind him is his teammates Juan Angel Rosso in the second Lincoln Co. 2022 champion Fabrizio Pezzini starts in 8th place for W2 Pro GP with another Cupra. Mariano Pernia from the Honda YPF Racing takes the start on 9th place. Race 2 pole sitter from Panama, Luis Ramirez in a Peugeot from PMO Racing, followed by the third Paladini Racing car is Santino Ballerini. Behind him is Gennaro Rassetto, another rookie, on 12th place for PMO Racing. Adrian Chiriano, the only TCR Trophy entrant this weekend, in 13th. And in 14th, we have Mariani Ancotter rounding out the starting grid, the 18-year-old from Brazil, the rookie. (22 Celsius degrees, 27 Celsius degrees on track. So now we will start a new season in TCR South America. This will be the new season. This is the 5th season in history of the series. You see Rassetto, who narrowly made it to Q2 yesterday, dropping Adrian Chiriano. As it's 9:11 a.m. right now in Argentina. We'll see what kind of start do we have. We have two Hondas on the front row with Pernia, Thiago Pernia and Nelson Piquet Jr. There is Gennaro Rassetto heading to the pit lane. We'll see if there is any trouble in his car. We'll have 13 cars on the grid. Rassetto is there stopping in his garage. We see him on the left of the screen. And we'll try to find out what happened with him. Green flag waving in the background. Will start the 2025 TCR South American Championship. And we are going on. Thiago Pernia stopped. Thiago Pernia stopped as Piquet Jr. takes the lead and Cardoso battles on the outside. Dreadful start from Thiago Pernia, who stopped on the grid on the inside. We see Leonel Pernia trying to battle for the lead. 3 wide, heading into turn 1. And it will be a massive, massive break in here with 3 cars as Leonel Pernia will dive into the lead in turn number 2 in the first braking point, followed by Piquet leading the 1-2 for Honda YPF Racing. Cardoso tried to battle from 3rd place, but I think he lost another position as now we have Thiago Pernia back in 4th. Leonel Pernia is leading 2nd position for Cardoso, and yes, it's Piquet Jr. in 3rd position. Dreadful start from Thiago Pernia, who now drops back to 4th place. That's a little collision, little rub with Rafael Reyes, and I think it's one of the Lincoln Co's. And we have now Leonel Pernia, the experienced, the 49-year-old from Argentina, leading the race in the early stages in this first lap. That was Mariano Pernia battling. I think it was for the 8th place. No contacts, only a few minor ones, as there's Luis Ramirez battling with Pernia, with Mariano Pernia. As now we have all the 14 cars after Rassetto seems to have left the pit lane. Here comes the end of first lap. We got Leonel Pernilla leading, Cardoso is in second, Piquet Jr. in third, Thiago Pernilla in fourth, ahead of Gian Antoni. Santino Ballerini with a fantastic start, climbing up to 6th place. Then Rafael Reyes, Pezzini, Ramirez, Mariano Pernilla back in 10th, Kiriano, Nien Cotter, and Juan Angel Rosso drop back to 13th place. We'll see if something happened with the Lincoln Co. of Palladini Racing. That is the defending champion, Pedro Cardoso, will go on board. Five thousandths of a second, half a second from Leonel Pernilla to Cardoso in second place. There's Piquet Jr. in third. Let's see what happened. As that's a contact with Mariano Pernilla and Rafael Reyes. It seems Pernilla had got up a few places until he had this contact with Reyes. We're about to close another lap in this 25 minutes plus 1 lap race that opens the season. We see Leonel Pernilla and Cardoso pulling away from Piquet in third place. Thiago Pernilla remains in fourth, and Gian Antoni is pulling up ahead in fifth place, leaving Ballerini behind in sixth, but he will suffer. Ballerini for sure will suffer pressure from Rafael Reyes, who goes in seventh place. Pernilla heading into the first braking point. An amazing start of the race as we had lead change 3 wide in the opening meters for the lead. Pernilla holding off Cardoso narrowly, less than 0.3 of a second. First sector was 19.0 for both. Less than 1/10 of a second of advantage for Cardoso in second. And now Pernilla runs a little bit wide. Cardoso was trying to go through the inside, but there is Leonel Pernilla stopping Cardoso from attacking, preventing him. The top 5 is getting a bit closer now. Leonel Pernilla didn't seem to have so much of pace in the opening 2 laps, but let's see now that they complete lap number 3. As Ballerini seems to be running firmly in 6th place, keeping Reyes right behind. Here we have the gaps updated. Pernilla is 4/10 clear from Cardoso. Cardoso is 1 second behind, has Piquet 1 second behind. Thiago Pernilla in fourth, just 4/10 of a second behind Nelson Piquet Jr. We have the battle for first place, but Pernilla seems to have things under control as far as now in these early stages of the race. Oh, Gian Antoni's off. Fabian Gian Antoni's off. We'll see if something happened with him, or it was just on his own. He drops back to the bottom of the standings. There is the top 4. This is Sebastián Martino, owner of Honda YPF Racing, rebranded from Squadra Martino in 2024, since the very first race of TCR South America by June 2021 in Interlagos. As we have safety car now. Safety car is out. We'll see if we have any replay of what happened with Fabian Gian Antoni, who's still in the car, as he was expected to be towed. Let's have a look at the start. Watch Thiago Pernilla in the first place on the right side. Fabian Gianantoni, yeah, I think he lost control. Trying to stop the car. So we now have 13 cars left on track. Safety car is out. Race is now interesting, and now all the gaps are vanished as we still have 2/3 of the race, as there is Gianantoni being towed away. Here's a replay of Gianantoni spinning off. As we see here, Cardoso starting the race. Pernia lost everything. He dropped back to 5th. You see, Lionel Pernia was going through the inside. Pernia struggled. Piquet took the lead initially, then Cardoso battled in the outside. And Lionel Pernia from behind, very on the inside. So we see now the safety car leading the way. All the gaps, as we said, have been cleared. We have 12 cars on track as Raceto could not start the race finally. So Mariana Ninkotter in the last place in 12 as we watch Cynthia Fabrizio Pesini's wife in the garage. There is now the restart of the race with Lionel Pernia leading from Cardoso, from Piquet Jr., from Thiago Pernia, and Santino Ballerini in 5th place. We're now at full throttle once again in Rosario. We're watching TCR South America, opening round of the season. Now Cardoso seems to be trying to have a look at the inside of Pernia. It might be his only chance as the race is now going on. We go on board. Pernia closing the line. Beautiful ride on board with Pedro Cardoso, who is just 0.2 of a second behind Lionel Pernia. There he is trying to cool a bit his engine after a whole lap behind the Honda of Rafael Pernia. They are pulling away from the third place driver, which is Nelson Piquet Jr. He's coming towards us is the leader, Leonel Pernia, 49 years old from Argentina. Followed by Pedro Cardoso, the 25-year-old, the defending champion of the series. Piquet Jr. is in third and now trying to get closer to Cardoso. Thiago Pernia does not want to get rid of the race. Does not want to lose track of the leaders. Ballerini remains in fifth in a remarkable debut so far, followed by Rafael Reis. Pezzini is in seventh. Luis Ramirez from Panama, who has pole position for race 2, is in eighth, followed by Mariano Pernia and Juan Angel Rosso, rounding off the top 10. Then behind we only have Chiriano Ninkotter. There is Santino Ballerini in the single Toyota from Palladini Racing. Top 4 completely packed, very tight. As now in this lap it seems that Piquet Jr. is a bit closer to Cardoso. Here are the leaders closing one more lap. We have 7 laps completed. Pedro Cardoso in second as Piquet tried to go for second place. We go on board with Nelson Piquet Jr. Piquet Jr. in third. Nelson Piquet Jr. in third, but he is resisting as Thiago Pernia is right on him. Ballerini is completely out of this contention. Thiago Pernia seems to be attacking for third place. Nelson Piquet Jr. Cardoso is now trying to stay close to Pernia. Lionel Pernia, who is leading by half of a second. Juan Angel Rosso moves up one more place, dropping Mariano Pernia to 10th. His last lap was 7/10 of a second quicker. Here we have the pace of the leaders is so tight, so similar. Cardoso is a very good opportunity. There is Piquet Jr. trying to catch Cardoso for second place. Cardoso remains in second. You see Piquet Jr. outrun Cardoso in the last 3 laps. He needs to have the room for trying to overtake him. Nine minutes remaining plus 1 lap. There we have now Leonel Pernia, Pedro Cardoso, and Nelson Piquet Jr. in third. But the race has no overtaking in the top 4 as far as now. This part. This is a very sensitive turn. As you can see, there are many bumps. Thiago Pernilla lost a bit of track from Piquet Jr. his last lap. It's not bad at all. In fact, he was the quicker of the top four. When he pulled up, he dropped back a few meters in the order. Kartinecki, one of the directors of PMO Racing, from the driver himself. This is the replay. This is Pedro Cardoso. Run a little bit wide. Nelson Piquet Jr. tried to put his car through, but it was not easy at all. 'Cardoso is there in a second place, resisting from Piquet Jr. Third. You see the top three is very, very tight. Thiago Pernilla seems to have lost a bit of track from the leaders, as there is Piquet Jr. trying to overtake Cardoso, and he takes second place from the defending champion. Cardoso left a little bit of room open, and Piquet was not forgiving at all. Now Thiago Pernilla wants to take third as well. Something happened to Cardoso, who lost everything in a few meters. Five minutes and a half remaining. And we have a new second place. Nelson Piquet moved up one position from Cardoso. 5 minutes and a half remaining. Somebody locked up in the background. Pernilla leading comfortably since the opener of the race, since the start. Pernilla there. In second is Piquet Jr. Now Cardoso in third, and Thiago Pernilla, who started on pole, is in fourth. Our top four. Ballerini remains in fifth ahead of Reis. Pezzini in seventh. Rosso moved up to eighth place with a very solid pace, even quicker than third and fourth. So we have Lionel Pernilla and Piquet Jr. running below 140, as we see Oscar and Damian Fineschi on screen, both directors of PMO Racing. And Last 3 minutes of the race. Leonel Pernilla and Piquet Jr. are first and second. Cardoso is behind in third. Thiago Pernilla in fourth. Santino Ballerini in fifth. There is Pezzini battling with Rafael Reis for sixth position. The two Cupras. Pezzini trying to overtake Reis for sixth position. Ballerini grateful as he pulls away in fifth. Reis resists in sixth place. There is Pezzini on the outside, a tight battle between the two Cupras, but the Brazilian survives ahead. Now Pezzini wants to take the other line, and this could be lit into something. In the meantime, Piquet Jr. is closer than ever to Leonel Pernilla as we are in the last laps of the race. This is Santino Ballerini in a very remarkable debut in fifth place. For first, and Piquet Jr. wanted to go through the inside. But Leonel Pernilla is defending firmly as far as now. The last minute and a half. We should have 2 laps remaining. That's the last lap. As Rafael Reis dropped back to 8th place, he lost with Pezzini and Rosso. From the bottom, managed a fantastic comeback. Ahead of Reis, Luis Ramirez remains in 9th and Mariano Pernilla in 10th. Followed behind is Adrian Quiriano, the sole entrant of TCR Trophy, and Maria Nienkotter. Fabian Gianantoni, the only retirement, as Gennaro Rassetto failed to make the start. Last 30 seconds in the clock, so we will have one more lap after the clock counts down to 0. We will allow now opening the second last lap of the race. Leonel Pernilla going for another win. Fabrizio Pezzini heads into the pit lane. We'll have 11 cars running now. He has a puncture. If the wheel didn't come off, was quite a puncture. Pezzini will drop back to the last place. Clock is down in 0, so as soon as Pernilla heads to the finish line, he will open the last lap of the race. Yeah, it's really loads of work for W2 Pro GP towards race number 2. Now it's the final lap of the race. Last chances. As Piquet Jr. does not give up on his hopes of winning the race. That is a chance. Now Piquet Jr. will play his last cards, but I think this might be over. Oh, I think it's Ballerini who spun off. He was in a solid 5th position. That's heartbreaking for the youngster. It will come off. So we'll have to see what happened. Santino Ballerini, yeah, I think he lost the wheel, possibly. Yes, look at his rear rights, and he hits hard the tire barrier. That's heartbreaking for Santino Ballerini, who was in the last lap of the race in 5th position. Lionel Pernilla is on the last turns of the lap. And now coming towards the checker flag. First race of the season will be in the hands of Lionel Pernilla, who takes the checker flag in first ahead of Nelson Piquet Jr. Pedro Cardoso arrives in 3rd and Thiago Pernilla limps home in 4th. It will be Rosso rounding off a marvelous comeback to 5th place ahead of Reis. Ramirez will finish in 7th. Mariano Pernilla in 8th. And it will be completed with Chiriano and Maria Ninkotter, the 10 survivors. Here is our TCR Trophy winner, Adrián Chiriano. Here are our final standings. Lionel Pernilla has won the race ahead of Nelson Piquet Jr., Pedro Cardoso in 3rd, Thiago Pernilla in 4th, Juan Angel Rosso in 5th, Rafael Reis in 6th, Luis Ramirez in 7th, Mariano Pernilla in 8th, Adrián Chiriano and Maria Ninkotter rounded off the top 10, the 10 survivors of the race. As we had Santino Ballerini retiring in the last lap, Pesini in the second last, Gian Antoni earlier, and Gennaro Rassetto. 16 laps completed in this race. That is Ballerini and Gian Antoni, both retired. Nelson Piquet Jr. arriving. Rounded off the 1-2 for Honda YPF Racing. Here is Pedro Cardoso coming out of his car. Here is our winner, Lionel Pernilla. Here we see Lionel Pernilla winning Again, celebrating with the whole family. He's been taken now to the TV interview. And the celebration with his father. The celebration with Vicente Pernilla, father of Leonel and Mariano. Celebrating with Nelsinho Piquet Jr.
Vamos chicos, vamos a Podium, Leo.
They're being taken now up to the podium. Celebrations will unleash on the podium.
Leo, una largada increíble para poder tomar la primera posición y después aguantar el
An
resto de la
amazing
carrera.
starts.
Sí, déjame
Sí,
felicitar
sí,
primero a todo el equipo de Escuadra Martino, Honda,
The first I wanna
IPF,
congratulate
Ocasa,
all my
DirecTV
team.
Racing. La verdad que te voy a mandar un video de mi ensayo de largada en Córdoba para que
I'll send you a
veas
video of
lo
my
que se
start
evoluciona
practice in
practicando.
Córdoba.
No es fácil
can
el
see what we
sistema de
can
largada del Honda, pero bueno, en
progress
el momento que más contaba
practicing.
salió de la mejor manera y bueno, pudimos agarrar la punta ahí después de una lucha entre
take the
Pedro
lead
y
after the
Piquet
battle
y después
between
bueno,
Pedro and
tratar de aguantar. No
Nelsinho.
tenemos que mejorar un poquito más porque creo que tanto Pedro como Nelson están un pelito más
Let's
rápido que yo,
improve
como
anyway.
mostraron ya en clasificación. Pero soy consciente que esto
Because,
recién empieza,
Piquet
cambio de
and
equipo,
Cardoso
hay que adaptarse mejor y pulir
are
y
doing
pulir
really
y
well.
trabajar y bueno, estamos por el buen camino, así que agradecido a toda la gente que confió en nosotros.
Felicitaciones. La palabra de Leo Pernilla, entonces el ganador aquí en Rosario. Lo recibimos ahora Adrián Chiriano, ganador de la Copa Trophy. Chiri, un buen debut.
Sí, buen día.
TCR
Agradecerle al
Trophy
equipo,
winner Adrián Chiriano.
Honda Racing, a Sebastián, a Víctor, a todo el grupo de trabajo. Trabajamos bastante el fin de semana. Arrancamos lejos el viernes y de a
Start
poco
really
fuimos
far on Friday.
tomando kilómetros, viendo mucha data, información. Terminé muy
taken a lot
cansado,
of data.
pero bueno, bien, a seguir trabajando.
I'm exhausted, but I'm
Tenemos
really
otra
happy.
carrera seguramente al mediodía que va a ser
We've got another race.
más dura, así que a recuperarse para lo que sigue.
Muchas gracias.
Gracias,
have to
agradecerle
recover
nuevamente
for
a todo el
what
equipo.
comes up
Honda
next.
Racing, a Sebastián, a Víctor, a todos, muchísimas gracias.
La palabra de Adrián Chiriano, ganador de la Copa Trophy. A ver si podemos charlar con Nelson Piquet, que lo tenemos ahí, lo estamos buscando a Nelsinho un poco agotado, hablando con Sebastián Martino, y ahora sí lo recibimos entonces a Nelsinho, que finalizó en la segunda posición. Nelsinho, una carrera
Let's hear from
complicada,
Nelsinho
dura,
Piquet.
peleando con Pedro Cardoso y
Tough
después con Leo.
race. Battling with Cardoso
Sí,
and
para
Pernilla.
mí fue una carrera para aprender un poco más sobre el coche,
It was
la
some learning
pista,
for
continúo
me.
aprendiendo un poco. La primera vez que
I
estou
keep
seguindo
learning.
coche por tantas vueltas, então tinha muita coisa que eu aprendi. Também entender
I'm
um pouco a
following
reação das pneumáticos.
Car trying to learn on the tire
Não, é claro
reaction.
que quando eu fui para segundo, teremos que ter um pouco de cabeça para
Of course, after I took
para
second, I
pensar
had
como
to
equipe.
be careful
não
and
se pode
think as a
também
team.
avançar tanto e futuramente pode acontecer a mesma situação, onde Lionel vai passar alguém. Então, teremos que trabalhar juntos. Foi bom trabalho
We'll have to
juntos.
work together.
E eu necessito acostumar com a tração
I'm
dianteira, essas
getting used
coisas.
to
Obrigado. Muchas
Stuff on
gracias,
the
Nelson
car.
Piquet, que nos hablaba del trabajo en equipo también de Honda, y lo recibimos a Pedro Cardoso, el actual campeón, que tuvo que batallar con los Hondas.
And
Pedro, una
we'll
largada
hear
increíble, pero
from,
después
Pedro Cardoso.
se hizo difícil mantener el ritmo, ¿no?, de los Honda.
Sí,
It was
creo
hard
que
to
los
keep up
Honda
the pace of the
están
Hondas.
un pasito adelante este fin de.
They are a
Bueno,
step ahead of
porque TCR tiene BOP, en algún momento van van a sacar algo de ellos.
The BOP
Y
will
hay que sumar, es lo
put
que
a hand on
teníamos
it.
hoy.
It has to score
Creo
points.
que si Thiago
This is what
no
we
sale
had.
mal, tal vez yo pueda ir a frente y creo que en
If Thiago didn't
las
start
5 o 6 primeras vueltas yo era el coche más rápido y
Badly,
ahí
I
podría
think I could have
conseguir
been a
una
bit
ventaja.
more ahead. I was the
Pero está
fastest.
bien, está bueno, empezar
first
tercero
laps.
no es ni un
But
poco
anyway,
malo
it's
y,
not about
y bueno,
results.
es una época larga, hay que sumar. Voy a hablar um pouco em português
Season.
agora.
It's a long season. You
Bom,
have to score as
foi
many
uma boa
points.
corrida pra gente. Eu acho que é o que a gente tinha. Os Honda estão um passinho na frente.
Now he repeats the
Nelson
same in Portuguese
ganhava
in
muito
his
na reta
language.
de mim, principalmente. E eu fiz uma boa largada. Acho que se eu não tivesse que ter desviado do Thiago, eu talvez conseguisse ter ido para primeiro e aí abrir uma vantagem. Talvez ter conseguido fechar eles. Mas o bom da TCR é que tem um BOP. Eu acho que em algum momento o Honda vai sofrer um pouquinho. E o importante é somar o maior número de pontos. Não precisa ganhar todas as coisas para ganhar um campeonato. Obviamente que é o que eu quero repetir, mas eu vou fazer de tudo para conseguir estar sempre ali na frente.
Gracias. La palabra de Pedro Cardoso en español y en portugués. Nos vamos al podio.
We'll head onto the podium now.
Aquí en Rosario, una carrera increíble que subimos para el comienzo de esta temporada 2025 y recibimos en el podio al ganador de la Copa Trophy. Sube al escenario, sube al podio Adrián Chiriano, piloto
Here's Adrián Chiriano,
de Racing Team. Fuerte el aplauso
TCR Trophy
para él.
winner.
Momento ahora de invitar también al escenario en la tercera ubicación de la clasificación general al actual campeón de la
Now,
categoría
third
de
place
Brasil,
for
Pedro Cardoso,
the
piloto
defending champion,
del
Pedro Cardoso.
Racing. Fuerte el aplauso para Pedro Cardoso. En la segunda ubicación vamos a recibir también desde Brasil una carrera increíble la que hizo. Estamos haciendo
second
referencia
place,
a Nelson Piquet Jr.
Nelson
Fuerte el
Piquet
aplauso
Jr.
para Nelsinho. También el placer de contar con Nelsinho en la categoría. Y ahora preparamos fuerte las manos para aplaudir al ganador de esta primera carrera del TCR Sudamérica 2025.
And the winner, Leonel
Sube a lo
Pernia.
más alto del podio, Leo Pernia. Y voy a empezar a invitar a que entreguen los premios. Sube Federico Punteri.
Now we'll have the
A
trophies
entregar
handed by Federico
El
Punteri,
premio
series
a Adrián
promoter.
Chiriano como ganador de la Copa Trophy. Fuerte el aplauso también para Fede Punteri y a toda la gente del TCR que hace un trabajo increíble. Lo invito ahora como director del Autódromo Municipal de Rosario a Fabián
Sí, Adrián
Esbagliati,
Chiriano.
quien va a entregar
Fabián
el premio a
Esbagliati,
Pedro Cardoso en la tercera
Circuit Director,
ubicación.
will hand the trophy to
Fuerte el aplauso por los trabajos que se realizan aquí en el Autódromo de Rosario.
Pedro Cardoso,
Sube
the
ahora
third.
Carlos Lee, director de Hankook Brasil, a entregar el premio a Nelson
Carlos Lee
Piquet
from
Jr.
Hankook Brazil, the new tire supplier for this season.
Invitamos
And the
ahora
trophy
también a subir como mejor equipo
to
a
Nelson Piquet
Víctor
Jr.
Crubón, de parte del Honda IPF Racing. Se para al lado de Nelsinho. Y ahora recibimos nuevamente a Fabián Esbagliati para entregar el premio
And now once again
a
Fabián
Nelson
Esbagliati.
Piquet. Suba, por favor, Fabián. Y ya lo voy invitando también a Federico Punteri que se vaya acercando. Sube, perdón. Ahora sí, Federico Punteri entregar el premio a
And
Leo
once again,
Pernia.
series promoter Punteri to hand the trophy to Leonel Pernia.
Y vamos a tener el momento del champagne.
And now it's time
Para
for
la
the champagne.
federación, la foto primero para la prensa, todas las imágenes. Y el
And
momento
celebrations
de
are
la
unleashed.
celebración. Fuerte el aplauso para los pilotos del TCR Sudamérica,
It's
Banco BRB.
now time for celebration in this
Recuerden que a las 12 del mediodía tenemos la carrera número 2 con grilla invertida en las primeras 10 posiciones. Muchas gracias a toda la ciudad por recibir. Y sube Leo nuevamente para la foto.
we'll have the reverse grid race.
Foto de todos los pilotos.
Now we have the race highlights. Here is the start of the race with Leonel Pernilla diving into the inside, ahead of Piquet Jr. and Cardoso in third. You see once again at the start, Thiago Pernilla stalls a bit, and that blocks Pedro Cardoso from going through into first place, as he explained. That's the collision between Rafael Reyes and Mariano Pernilla. We'll have to stay alert if there is any decision from the stewards. And here we have Cardoso trying to catch Pernilla at the lead of the race, but it would be Nelson Piquet Jr. who would jump into second in these highlights of the race. We'll see. Now Gianantoni spinning, and we are rounding off. The broadcast will come back later in 2 hours for race number 2 with the inverted grid and Luis Ramirez starting on pole position. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for having been with us in race number 1 of TCR South America. My name is Francisco Aure. We'll come back later with race number 2.